like white guys. It's that I don't like white babies. And mind you, I'm white. So if they're white, and we have one of these things, I am not risking being pregnant for 9 months to have one of those little red-ass looking ass things come out.
The sad thing is...
You heard that? Now let's go to Genesis 25th chapter in the 23rd verse. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. The truth is coming out, man. Right? She made a statement, and she didn't even know the gravity of the statement that she made. The Edomites are a red people, and they're the only people in the scriptures that are classified based upon color. All right? She showed a picture of the baby, and the baby was extremely red, and that's how Edomite babies come out. They come out red, so-called white babies, okay, because they're actually Edomites. And that's the same thing that Isaac and Rebekah saw when Esau came out. That's why his name was Esau, meaning wasted away is he. Okay, and then when it mentioned Jacob, it said, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Okay, so it didn't mention Jacob's color because Jacob came out normally, which was with that dark pigmentation. All right, so Esau came out peculiar. He came out different than the rest of the people. Now let's go to Exodus. I believe that's Exodus, the 4th chapter. And it says, Exodus 4:5, it says, that they may believe that Yahweh power of their fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob hath appeared unto thee. And Yahweh said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. So what happened? Leprosy came upon him and his hand became white, showing you that what leprosy is to turn pale. Okay, so they really have a disease called leprosy, right? Which is different forms of leprosy. They're known as clean leopards because they have that paleness all around their body, that translucency, and that's why they are red, because the blood is showing forth on the surface of their skin. Okay, that's why you have the term redneck, and they blush, and you can actually see the rosy cheeks, right? Because they lack pigmentation. Okay, so this is what happened to Moses when the Heavenly Father wanted to show him something. Okay, wanted to show him a miracle. He put his hand in his bosom, all right, and he took it out, and it was leprous. It was white as snow, all right? And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. His other flesh was obviously of a darker complexion. Okay, he was a so-called black man. All right, you see? So ultimately, these things are going to be revealed, and they are being revealed. All right, this was common knowledge going back 1,000 years ago. All right, 1,500 years ago, when Esau came into power. This is when, well, it doesn't even have, not even 1,500 years ago. We could say 500 years ago. This was common knowledge. Okay, when Esau came into power, he came with deception. All right, I would even say maybe even around 200 years ago as well, because that term white came about, I believe, in 1681. All right, so around that time they understood that the majority of the planet Earth was of a dark skin. Okay. Okay, you can look at old images of Arabs, images of Native American Gadites, and they have very, very dark skin in those images. All right, until they mix with Esau, Edom. All right, this is it says Job 30:30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. Okay, so this is not this is not a metaphor for skin. This is actually talking about skin color. His skin was very dark. All right, his skin was very dark. All right, and you can't get a Edomite out of that. You can't get a so-called white person out of that. All right, this is a so-called black man, point blank, period, and there's no way around it. It says this is Songs of Solomon 1 and 5, and this is Solomon wrote these songs. Okay, and yes, they're metaphors for different things that had different meanings in them. All right, but there was songs that were written by Solomon, King Solomon. It says, I am black but calmly. And the word there is really and. It's black and calmly, not but. There's no but there. Okay? Let's look it up right now. Core. Calmly. See, so you don't have any but. There's no but in this particular instance. Okay, they added that to be on black and calmly. Okay, continuing, and it's spiritual, because what does Jake say? What does Judah say? He said, I'm black and beautiful. All right. It says, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept. All right. So that, there we go. It's going in the skin color again. Let's get Daniel 7 and verse 9. And I'm not going to make this long. I'm just going to get a few scriptures to make the point. But she just said that, and that triggered me to go to the scriptures. This is Daniel 7 and 9. It says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. That's the Heavenly Father, because he's known as the Ancient of Days, because he has no beginning and no end. Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. So his hair, the head of his hair was wool, was like wool. Okay. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheel as the burning fire. Right. And what colors wool? Which people have woolly hair on the planet Earth? Even if you look up the definition woolly, which I don't know if it's going to say it now, but it always, when you go into certain dictionaries, like I have an old Webster dictionary there, and I'm sure it'll say the word, it will mention the Negro texture, the Negro hair texture. Okay. So we can go to Daniel's, the 10th chapter. See, because we can also go to Revelations 1 and 13. But vocab doesn't like that. So we're gonna go to some different scriptures. We're gonna go to Daniel's, the 10th chapter and the 5th verse. It says, Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. Right? This is Yahushua. It's the same description. His body also was like the beryl. This is speaking about the garment he was wearing. Okay, that's a greenish color. And that's why you see we have the sign in the body, and the garment is green. And his face as the appearance of lightning, meaning it was bright. And his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polish brass. So we're dealing with color, and we're dealing with the color of brass. And I believe in the Spanish translation, I believe it says bronze. And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. Okay? So this is speaking about the Lord. All right? So he's a dark-skinned man. The Heavenly Father is a dark-skinned man. The children of Israel are naturally a dark-skinned people. Okay? That's point blank period. So who are those people in the land claiming themselves to be the people? Let's go to the book of Acts, the 13th chapter, and the first verse. It says, "Now there were in the church that was in Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that were called Niger." That's really what this word is. It says Niger, but the pronunciation is the same way as you would say Nigger. Okay, and Lucius of Cyrene and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. Okay, so that's showing you right there, and I'm going to prove to you that that's the word. Okay, excuse me. Let me go here. That's how it's pronounced. It's going to show you. He's going to pronounce it for you. I'm going to let Esau pronounce it.
Strong's G 3526. Niger. Niger.
See? So it's not Niger, which it means the same thing. They have a place called Niger, or River Niger, but it's the same meaning. Okay, when Esau would call Jake that word in slavery, all it meant was black, right? But Esau put a negative twist to it, like a super negative twist to it. It means ignorant. It means this and that, because Esau doesn't, he pulls things out of his ass, but right. So this is showing you that they were dark skinned, and when who's seen it? I believe it was the centurion who said to Paul, he said, "Are you not that Egyptian?" Right? So he confused Paul for an Egyptian. And what color were the Egyptians? We can get some images of some Egyptians right now. All right, Egyptian hieroglyphs. It should show you what? It's going to show you a bunch of dark skin, unless it's those images of deception. Right, because Esau has his deception out there. Let me see something. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Where do you get so-called white people from this? Look how dark these people are. See, this is a one that has not been tainted. Okay, this is an original. You telling me some of the people were white and some of them were black? Come on, man. These are the Egyptians. This is what the Egyptians were: super tall and super dark skin. Okay, let's get some more. Boom. These are what the Egyptians look like. All right. So let's go to Moses. If Moses was taken for Pharaoh's son-in-law, or the son of Pharaoh at that time, how could he be living in Pharaoh's house and look like an Edomite? Wouldn't he stick out like a sore thumb? Or how can the Lord, Yahweh Shai, he hid in Egypt? And also, like I mentioned, Paul, right? Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian. And you could clearly see that the Egyptians are a dark-skinned people. Okay? Right? And then you see certain images, right, or of the Israelites in captivity. Which this is the Israelites. Okay, it's our people. You see they have afros, man. Got afros. I believe some of them have. Look, the women have braids. These are Israelites, man. Hell's wrong with you? So ultimately, listen, we know how the Israelites look. We don't have to guess. We don't have to listen to vocab. We can clearly see that. All right. So anyways, with that, Lord willing, you were edified. To the next video, I say shalom.